Welcome, Collective, to Timeless Energy. I'm Barbara. This is a general timeless reading. This is entertainment purpose only. If it does not resonate, please do not try to make it fit. Watch out for scammers. This is my disclaimer. I don't reach out. I don't do personals. If anybody does reach out on my behalf to do readings, this is my disclaimer. It's not me. I do thank you, though, for the liking and the subscribing. The more subscribers, the more people that press that like button, that helps my small channel grow. If you enjoy the content of this video and you have not already become a subscriber, please consider subscribing. It will help me a great deal. If you are already a subscriber, or if you're not and you like the content, don't forget to press the like button. YouTube, well, they send my content out a little further, the better my numbers get. Okay, so we all kind of know that. I know there's been a lot clogging up the internet recently. And that does affect us, actually, to tell you the truth. I do wish that I was one of the people who had over 1,000 subscribers, but I simply am not there yet. So I need all the support that I can get, and I really appreciate it. If you really enjoy the content, you can share this with someone who has never seen me. And maybe that might actually help me out a little bit, too. So there are plenty of ways to support, and I appreciate my current subscribers. I do truly appreciate all of their efforts. If my content gets circulated and they're able to see it, you see. So I do appreciate that support as well. Okay, as anybody who's been with me before knows, I am using the Wild Unknown Tarot. I will clarify with the Learning Tarot, and then I will pull off Citadel. These are my favorites. This has become my habit, actually. I'm not so sure it's good to make a habit, but you would not believe what kinds of things have been going on. I know that everybody's fully aware of all of the tornado activity up the Midwest, and even into the state of Kentucky where I'm at. Prayers for all of the victims or all of the people that have been affected. And prayers for all the volunteers that have stepped up to help those in need. For that huge, month-long, it seemed, tragedy. Which I don't think is quite over yet. But prayers anyways. Okay. Now, we do hope some of that weather has calmed down a little bit. Was the extreme weather because of the climate change? And I know everybody's climate change. You know what? The oceans are warming up. I heard about the monkeys down in New Mexico. I pray for the heat down in that area that is so hot that the monkeys are falling out of the trees, from what I heard. The salmon that didn't make it when they were put into the river system up in Canada because of the temperature. Excuse me. Because of the temperature of the water, from what I'm told. These are all very disconcerting. So we're going to get a message for today's Timeless Energy. Okay, Spirit, guide me. Archangel Michael, guide me. Today's Timeless Energy message. Archangel Michael, guide me. Today's Timeless Energy message. Oh, and I forgot. Donations. There is a link. By the way, if you enjoy the content, you can find the links in the description box. I I always forget that, probably because we don't get a lot of activity in that direction. It isn't necessary, but I don't do personals. So if you do like the content and you want to send a donation, I'm not going to complain. Okay, sorry about that. Cough drop to make it just a little easier to navigate. It's already been a full day. Thankfully, today I am starting this before midnight. Okay, Spirit guide me, Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me, Spirit guide me. We need 3 cards. Archangel Michael, Spirit guide me. 3 cards for today's timeless energy message. 3 cards for today's timeless energy message. And I got the Tower. And it's in reverse. The Tower's not a bad card. I know a lot of people automatically assume when they see the Tower that it's like a bad, start out the message in a bad way, you know. No, it doesn't work like that. The Tower is not a bad card. We'll see when we get into 2 more cards for today's timeless energy message. 2 more cards for today's timeless energy message. 2 more cards. 2 more cards. Okay. In reverse, 7 of Swords. Ooh, I like that cat. It's in reverse, just like the Tower. It's kind of hard to see, like it's in reverse. With the cat was a fox. The fox is sitting on the sword on the bottom of the card. Okay, so the fox is sitting on the sword. That's 7 swords in reverse. Okay, Spirit guide me, Spirit guide me. 1 more. Spirit guide me, Spirit guide me. 1 more. Spirit guide me, Spirit guide me. And I have the Moon. Okay, a little bit of shade, shadow to something. We'll find out what that Moon stands for. It's something that's hidden, apparently. But let's see. You know I like the chakras. So let's point those out first. The Tower card is your crown chakra, and the 7 of Swords is a solar chakra, and the Moon is a 3rd eye. Okay. Now, sometimes it doesn't really have an impact when the chakras are linked to the definition of whatever the read is. But I started off adding the chakras. It was kind of like a thing. Was the Tower is in reverse. And everybody knows that when I get a card in reverse, I kind of like to go over the description a little bit of what it would be in the upright to give you a better idea of the weight of the definition. Because I'm only using 3 cards here, right? Let's think of the Tower as a foundation. And it is, really. Well, it's a card of foundation. Okay. If the foundation that you're standing on gets pulled out from under you, in view of the recent tornadoes, you probably resonate with this. It can be a rather bad day. Okay? This is the truth of it. Okay. In some cases, the tower can be indicate some instability with maybe not necessarily a building, but a person. If somebody is for a short period of time feeling a little unstable, or maybe acting really unstable or unlike themselves, that would be the tower. Now in reverse, I'm seeing going along with the flow. A fresh start, the ability to start fresh, but going along with the flow. You never know what's going to occur in the daily life. Of course, it depends what part of the country you live in, or what country you live in. Okay? What age you are, what profession you are, what personal situation you might be in. But this energy is going along with the flow. That is the best, actually, one to pick from. With the crown chakra, I don't know if the crown chakra really adds to this, because your senses are very sharp. You're not overly sensitive about whatever it is that's going around you, around you. But you're sharp as a tack. And you're just going to go along with the flow. Now, that's kind of hard for me to swallow, because to be honest with you, if I was sharp as a tack and all these things were going on around me, I probably couldn't keep my mouth shut. I would have to maybe give a word of advice or help somebody with, my wisdom. Okay? Are you resonating with that? Okay, well, in this case, we're talking about, you're not jumping in there to give your guidance. You're actually maybe just letting things pan out in a natural way. And this is the energy of what I'm seeing with the tower in reverse. Sometimes, in reverse, the tower energy can be delaying the inevitable. Now, I bring this up because of the moon, which is hidden, whatever that is that's hidden. The moon energy is something that's hidden, something that's secretive, something that's not common knowledge. Maybe something that you see or you understand or that you know eventually will happen. But you're just kind of going along with the flow. And with this energy, you could be trying to delay the inevitable. To be quite honest with you, if it's something that's faded, there's not very much you can do about it. If it's something that you know eventually is going to happen, make preparations for it. Don't avoid it. We're talking about a long-term change of maybe you're not going to be around very long and you're spending all your time in the doctor's office and you're taking all your medicine and you're following all of the instructions. But to be honest with you, you know that you're sick. And you know that you should sit down and make some kind of outline or plans for that event that you are not going to be able to avoid. That would be the most serious of it. But right now we're going along with the flow. We're not worried about that. Okay. There are some people that didn't prepare for the things that have happened in this month. There are some things you cannot prepare for, or there are some things that you really don't see coming. I mean, you see it happening to other people. Oh yeah, it's a normal thing. We get these all the time. It's just a normal thing. I mean, but you see it happening to other people every year with this season. You never expected it to happen to yourself, and you didn't make preparations to protect yourself from that event. Okay? You're just kind of going along with the flow. Kind of going along with the flow. Okay. Now, with the tower, this is the Mars energy, which is a very powerful energy. I did not do the astrocast right before doing this read. I do follow a couple on occasion, but I have been so busy all day. I don't know where Mars is sitting out there right now. Normally I get that off an astrocast and I kind of have a general idea where it's sitting out there. I could be really smart or I could sound really educated about that, but I didn't do that today. All I know about Mars is it's quite a bit of personal drive, aggressive energy. That would be the easiest thing. It could be sex drive. You're passionate about something, but not when I'm picking up on going along with the flow. Going along with the flow. Okay, the energy of aggression with Mars isn't go along with the flow. It truly isn't. There's kind of like a duality there. So maybe you have guidance to go along with the flow, but you're a little more aggressive about things. That guidance has maybe, led you to believe a best course would be, and you're maybe a little more aggressive. The guidance said to go along with the flow. Whatever it is, your personal, whatever you're resonating with, okay? But this tower energy is Mars. And this is an aggressive, very powerful energy. Alright? And what I'm seeing, whatever it is you're dealing with, try to go along with the flow. Oh, now the 7 of Swords with our fox. Don't you love that fox? I love that fox. Is the Swords in reverse a bad energy? We're talking about moon energy and next to the moon. Okay? We're talking, we got the moon energy here and we've got Aquarius energy here. Aquarius energy can be reluctant to expose yourself or your opinion, like you're going to be pretty closed-mouthed about something or maybe a little secretive about something. It's not a Cancer energy. It's not secretive, like sharp and shrewd secretive. It's more like being reluctant to get into the middle or express your opinion. And you might even be the person that should. But with the moon energy here, moon energy is usually it's the energy of hiding something in the darkness, something that maybe not everybody's aware of normally. You're going along with the flow. Something has happened. Something connected to the Mars energy, which is an aggressive energy, has occurred. And you're just kind of going along with the flow. You're trying not to be too aggressive. And then you come into the 7 of Swords in reverse with the moon energy here. I see emotional support. In some cases, I see involuntary emotional reactions, which would lead to emotional support. If you're resonating, the thing about it is with the moon hides things. In reverse, the 7 of Swords is all of the lies are out in the open. All of the dishonesty has been revealed. In some cases, whatever was taken away has been returned. Okay? But this moon energy is not hiding anything. This moon energy in reverse is basically saying that it's all out in the open and now there are no secrets. Well, there might still be secrets. But the information that related to the situation where you were being told, go with the flow, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. Okay, you see what I mean? With the Aquarius energy, you're reluctant to express your opinions or your thoughts. Okay? But obviously, whatever it was, it came out anyways. In reverse, in some cases, the Seven of Swords can be coming clean. So somebody confessed, or somebody came clean, or they were honest about, to a certain extent, something that they weren't willing to reveal before. Does not have to be everything. Okay? But maybe sometimes it's healthier to be honest about certain things instead of trying to hide things or be deceptive about them. So this energy where you're being, don't worry about it, could just go along with the flow, everything will be fine. This energy here is saying, okay, somewhere along the line, the truth came out. Somebody confessed the details that you were not aware of. So now we know why we were told, don't worry about it, go along with the flow. Because you know what? You weren't being told everything, were you? You were not being told everything. But now you are being at least treated with a little bit of respect. Because that's what it's all about, right? I mean, if somebody had respect for you, there wouldn't really be a reason to have an argument, dig for information, or assume that you're being lied to. I'm not talking if you had respect for yourself. I am talking about if the people around you had respect for you. You wouldn't have to go to those lengths. But instead of being told, go along with the flow and being left in complete ignorance, somebody finally came and confessed. I don't know what energy happened before that, to be honest with you. With the Seven of Swords in reverse, like that. But the deception is over with. Okay? At least for that little minute on that little spot. It does not have to be everything. Now we go into the moon. With the moon energy, would advise that things are not exactly what you think they are. So we have the ability when we communicate to basically tell people what we think they need to know. But, you know, in some cases we even deceive ourselves about the truth. I mean, oh yeah, everything's fine. Oh yeah, everything's fine. Oh yeah, everything's fine. And you're sitting there going along with the flow. And then all of a sudden you get a telephone call. Can you pick me up at the airport? I don't have any other place to go. No warning. No warning. Yeah, there are some people that would not have a problem with that. I would be one of them. But, you know what? You want to keep things, and with the moon energy, it might be the energy of a veil that is covering up some of the truth of the matter. What I'm looking at, though, you're going along with the flow, right? Somehow, with this energy of the truth is out. There's no way that could be avoided. Somehow, certain things came to light and the truth is out. Well, the moon energy actually can represent that sometimes we need to examine our feelings. And if you wanted to be secretive or you wanted to hide certain things, and now it's not a secret, that maybe the feelings run deeper than we thought on the matter. Maybe this energy here says that you need to pull yourself off to the side and you need to do a little bit of self-reflection. I'm not talking about living in the past and going all of the details of everything that happened here and everything that didn't happen here. You know, usually we both actually are healthier as a couple by not holding on to the past. But once in a while, there are situations where, and like this is, here it is, go along with the flow, and then all of a sudden, the facts came out. And you know what, you can't hide them at this point, and maybe whatever it is, you're not really having a comfort level with the situation being in the open. This would be a situation where you need to pull yourself aside and you need to reflect a little bit. There is no harm in doing that. Now remember that when we're in our head about things, a little bit of like self-understanding could be beneficial. And we're more inclined to jump to conclusions and make assumptions that are unfair unless there is some kind of clarity. You have to sit down blatantly, have a conversation about that clarity, and then you need to sit down and reflect on the fact that, you know what, it would have been so much easier if I'd been straight up and honest the whole time. Or maybe right with that situation. Or maybe more fair about that situation. But why did I do it the way I did it? I don't know. Of course you know. People always know why they make the choices that they make. You can't hide that. That's the common law. You might be surprised about the choice that a person makes. And they're not trying to hide that they have the right to make those choices. But the thing about it is, everybody who makes choices, they do it with full knowledge of exactly what they're doing. And there's usually a reason why they're making the choices the way they're making them. That part is the hidden, the conversation that doesn't happen. That part is the deep inset feelings that you have, the resentments in some cases, the feelings that you have, why you make the choices that you make, that you don't explain. The things that really truly stay hidden. Some of it is in your subconscious mind, to be quite fair. Some of it's learned behavior. I mean, you learned that when you were 6 years old. You didn't even know that you were doing things that way. But you know what? You learned it when you were 16 years old. It's in your subconscious mind. The choices that you make, if it's resentment. Nobody's going to call you out for that. You have a right to make the choices that you make. But these hidden things, once it comes to light, you need to sit down and do a little bit of reflecting. I do advise in some occasions that you might want to see a professional. I certainly do. Or at least I did. For certain things. Because we all, as human beings, tend to live in a little bit of denial about our real feelings on some matters. And it's nice to know you can share and work those feelings out without somebody that's not going to put it in a newspaper, especially people that are famous. Okay? You get me. Okay, so let's see about the Tower in reverse. Who's the Learning Tarot? Let's expand on this. What was it? Okay. These are really, really good cards. I know some of these cards that are coming out. They're really, really thin. They're like paper. But these learner cards, I'll tell you what, this deck will last forever. It will, honestly. But I have to give it a good shuffle. Okay. I had to give it... Because most of the shuffling I did was on the deck we just did. And this one's been in the box. So let's give it... We need a clarifier card. Spirit, guide me. We need a clarifier card. Spirit, guide me for the Tower in reverse. We need a clarifier card for the Tower in reverse. Clarifier card for the Tower in reverse. And look, just threw that one right out. Oh, and it's only one, and I'm going to take it. Recognition. Success, victory, winning, having the advantage, triumph or achievement, praise, acclaim, awards, recognition, applause, goodwill, fame, celebrity, well-wishers, supporters, being in the spotlight, riding high. Oh my goodness, recognition. So you're reflecting on something here that has come to light. You're reflecting on something that has come to light. Was the Tower in reverse was going with the flow. In the going with the flow energy, where you're reflecting on whatever it is that's come to light, you're going to be able to reach some kind of recognition. You're going to be able to benefit from this. What is sort of like a mental healing of sorts. There are some things, by the way, that are hidden. If they weren't secrets and you had a better understanding of them, maybe you would have a stronger foundation. Maybe your mental stability wouldn't be so unstable. But with this information or whatever it was that came to light, and the sitting and reflecting on things, how you feel, why you made choices, why it happened that way, you're going to be able to do better, bigger achievements, receive some kind of recognition or some kind of goodwill where before maybe you weren't in that box. This one just came out. For the Seven of Swords, I got Temperance. Oh, wouldn't you know it? With the little fox sitting over there upside down. Balance, patience, moderation, leading to harmonious relationships. Okay, some kind of achievement, some kind of recognition. This disclosure, going with the flow, and revealing things that, having a conversation about it. Okay, let's make sure we're all on the same page of what's going on here. Okay. This is going to be to your advantage, and this is going to bring peace. It might change your perspective. It might change somebody else's perspective. God knows there are some people that are pretty stubborn about the way they think. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I've been running into a lot of situations where there are people that just aren't honest about anything. And they have no problem bringing that dishonesty into, misleading you about other people. It's a control thing, I think. There's been a lot of that, in the cards. But this here is honesty. This is revealing energy. This is reflection energy. Leading to success. Leading to different perspectives. Leading to balance. Leading to better relationships. In some cases, leading to moderation. Let's clarify the moon here while we're at it. Because you know what? That card to reflect, it all depends on how you think. You know what I mean? You might be reflecting, but maybe you've got it all backwards. Curiosity. Patience is needed with this reflection, with the whole situation, actually. One who is calculating and unconcerned about the feelings of others. You might be dealing with someone like that. And you know what? You can't change the way people are. You just have to be open-minded about the fact that you already understand that they are unconcerned about the feelings of others, including yourself, and handle those situations as best as you can. When you're dealing with somebody that's unconcerned about how other people feel, including yourself, understanding can be a very big asset in your wheelhouse. Understanding who you're dealing with and having an understanding of what their personality is made up of. It makes it possible to get to the point where you're not as disappointed. Because trust me, if they're not concerned about anybody but themselves, you're going to end up getting disappointed eventually. You might catch yourself off guard once in a while. Okay. Now, this energy of the curiosity, the Page of Swords, it did say patience is needed. But this is the energy of communicators. This is the energy of mathematicians or travelers. Okay. This is the energy of being inspired. And right in the middle of that, you're dealing with somebody who is not one little bit concerned about your feelings. You need to take whichever direction you want on that one. Okay? Because this here says that somebody went in and they did a little bit of reflection. Okay? That all of the facts came out, probably in an argument, and that somebody pulled back and did a little bit of reflection. One event like that isn't enough to change personality that has been lived with for the entirety of your life. It might be a glimmer that lasts for a short period of time, but it's not going to change the personality characteristics of somebody who fits in that box. It really wouldn't matter as long as the ones around you understand that that is what they're dealing with. Okay? Now, you don't know why somebody might not show any feelings or be concerned. In some cases, the person they're dealing with is just so busy they don't have time. They're so busy, you don't have time. Okay, why are you bothering me with this? All this stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with my life. I simply am too busy, or I am already trying to accomplish something, and you're throwing out stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm focusing on. Well, yeah, it would be a smart thing at that point to say, oh, well, wait a minute. You know what? I just don't have time for this. It has to do with communication. In some cases, you don't have to communicate at all. I'm constantly throwing things out. Text message. Oh, my God, this happened. Oh, my God, this happened. You know what? They don't have anything to do with me or what I'm trying to do right now. So you discard it. You set it off to the side. That doesn't make you a bad person. It just means that there's only so many hours in a day. Okay, there's only so many hours in a day. And if you're going to accomplish something, sometimes you need to shut that stuff out. And you need to work on things that are important. We have deadlines. Now, What was I talking about? The astronomer, discovery, augury. I was talking about, like, when we talked about Mars, that I had not done my astrocast, and I don't know where Mars is right now when I'm doing this read, but here's the astronomer. Okay, my Citadel, I get to read the book on this one, okay? The astronomer. Okay, let's see if the astronomer can add a little bit to what I'm already doing, because... Okay, 62, if that number resonates with you. Actually, how many years old I will be this year? The astronomer, in reverse. Before you can make necessary decisions, you need to be practical and put some long-term goals into place. Without these, you are likely to overlook important details that could cause disarray further down the line. Don't let material needs sway your choices, but don't neglect their necessity either. This could be something large. This could be something small. I'm living in a place where the house is old and just brought up the fact that I need to get rocks. Not for the driveway, but to put underneath the house. Okay. Little things. Little things. Goals. I don't have the ability to do that today. So that would be a goal that I need to take care of. And you know what? I was thinking to myself, do the rocks care if I get one bag at a time? Or if I'm able to get 10 bags at one time and do the whole thing? No, the rocks do not care. So if it's a goal and it's something that you need, you can get one bag of rocks at a time, or you have the ability to, then by all means, you can get all 10 bags of rocks at once. And my goodness, if you're even in a better situation than that, you might actually have 1 or 2 people show up that helps you with all of that work. It just depends. But you know what? Putting that rock where you want it to go, that's a goal. In the case of the recent tornadoes, there's a lot of cleanup work involved. They're getting together, it was in the news today, a stadium of volunteers. And you know what? You've just been devastated. You're looking for family pictures. There are things of sentimental value that just blew right up into the air. And God knows it could be in another state by now. But you're going to want to spend some time doing that. This is a goal. If you haven't been affected, it might be that you're just not in the mood, but you've got to get to work or a doctor appointment by like 8 o'clock the next morning. And you need to be ready for that. And you're really dragging your feet. But that's a goal. Let's see what the Citadel has to throw in here. The astronomer. What's the Mars? Is that aggressive energy too? I guess if you've got to make goals, you've got to be a little bit of aggressive about that. I should throw that in. Because that is what I think of with the planets. Mars was the one in the read. Okay. We got the Smith. We got the Smith. Okay, let's see what the Smith says. I didn't find it. You know, my site isn't all that great. I am doing the reads a little faster. And that's okay. That's okay. 110. If that resonates, 110 is the number. The Smith. And it's in reverse. You're currently stuck in a situation that you caused yourself by rushing in without suitable preparation beforehand. The consequence of your impulsive actions are starting to catch up with you, but you can't blame others for them. It's time to admit that you're at fault and learn from this for the next time. Well, don't we all get lessons like that once in a while? If you're resonating with this, and this is not going to be everyone who's watching, but if it is something that you have actually been the decision maker, and you know it didn't turn out the way you thought it was going to turn out, don't panic. What you got into, you did it really quick, according to the Smith. You didn't plan it properly. You were in such a hurry, you were blind to things that maybe you should have looked into first. It's a lesson, which means that the next time you're in that kind of situation, you're going to take note of some of the things that maybe you learned. Let's hope. Okay. Let's hope. Okay. The thing about it is, you don't know what's going to happen in the real world. You do not know what's going to happen in the real world. And it takes a big person to be able to sit down and admit that they made a mistake. By the way, this is not... this is actually something that you can hide away from everyone and pretend that you didn't have anything to do with it. But you know what? It takes a big person to figure out that they made a mistake. And I don't know. It depends on how you look at whether it was a good thing or a bad thing. I personally think most of my mistakes worked in my favor. The brawler, lack of empathy and confrontation. And it happens to land in the moon spot. And it happens to land with the Page of Swords, which was what? Calculating and unconcerned about the feelings of others. You might be dealing with a narcissist. Honestly, not somebody who's like going to be brawling and fighting with you, but let's see what the brawler has to say. You might actually, because they both landed on the same spot as the moon. Okay, what's the moon? Is what? Hiding something. Okay. Or in denial about something, for all that matters. But you might very well be dealing with a narcissist. Like I said, understanding a person's personality and accepting them for who they are is part of the deal. But the brawler, 122 if the number resonates. And this is in the upright. Night falls thick and dark across the streets, but not all are sleeping. The doors of the music hall pour light and warmth into the courtyard, and revelers tumble, drunk and rowdy, after them. A spilled drink, a sharp word, and a fight breaks out, and the brawler is once again standing with fists raised, ready to fight their corner. Set on showing the whole world that they don't care what people think of them, the brawler invites confrontations wherever they go. Quick with a brash retort and ready fists, their bull-headed manner makes only enemies and never friends. You won't be able to move forward until a current conflict is resolved. Whether you're in the right or not, take a moment to step back and consider things from an alternative point of view. Entering a situation with your fists raised won't resolve things. Exercise a little empathy and plan out a way to address the matter on neutral ground. Accept this chance to improve yourself without carrying forward any malice towards others. Well, let's think about that for a little bit, because I kind of recognize myself in that a little bit. I'm not one to jump out and start a fight or pick a fight, but you know, I'm a thinker and I analyze things. Okay? And I have, on numerous occasions, blatantly said that I don't care about what other people think. You might have done this as well. In most cases, when that comes out, that is because I have no control of the situation, and I personally don't have the ability to change it. So my defensive behavior says, I don't care. I don't care. But truly you do. Truly you do. You become defensive about something, that means that you do care. How you're taking it, or how you're looking at it, or how you're being defensive about it, from what point of view, that's very revealing. there's nothing you can do about it. You're not going to change that person, or you're not able to change the situation you're in. You need to go with the flow. Go with the flow. Okay? Why get yourself worked up about something that you can't change? As far as the word friendship is concerned, you're going to have friendships with people for a certain block of time in your life. Something is going to hit a speed bump, and one of them is going to fall off to the wayside and find themselves occupied with something that you're not involved with. And 20 years later, you're going to say, whatever happened to her? This is life. Sometimes we find ourselves in situations where people just are not friends. You're lonely? You need to have people in your life. And the people that are in your life are only there for the benefit of whatever they can be on the receiving end of. And you are on the receiving end of company that you are desperately needing. That's not friendship. But you know what? Sometimes we reach a point in our life where this situation is where we're at. Okay, so it did bring up brawling, being defensive about. And in my case, being defensive is things that I don't have the money to fix, things that I don't have the ability to change, that are not pleasing to or acceptable with. All right? Because, you know what, people out there, they pass judgment. They do. You don't have enough, then you might not get invited or get included. You might get included by somebody who doesn't have something that they need and you have that item. But in most cases, on a level in our society, it was one thing when you had a house and the stability and a place to feed and clothe your children, but the tornado just took that right out the wall and you didn't have anywhere to go. Your situation just changed radically. You're going to be treated differently. And you know what? You're going to learn the hard way. You got used to being treated with respect. You truly did. Thought that you were all that. And then God, took you right down to the bottom. You know, this is a lesson, by the way. God does everything in our lives for a reason. There is a reason why everything happens. There is a lesson in there for every single person. It doesn't have to be a tornado. It does not have to be a tornado. It is that moment when you're learning that lesson that you pull in to reflect. When that brawler gets defensive and says, I don't need that. I don't need friends. I don't need friends. You're going to get defensive about that? You want to sit down there and reflect on why? You know, to tell you the truth, you don't have time for the games. And there's no reason to get defensive. Everybody in the world is going through some very harsh realities right now, and we manage to get through what we need to get through as best as we can. So you don't need to get defensive. There are some hidden things. You might be dealing with a narcissist. And I tell you what, it's a lot easier to understand that whoever you're dealing with, that people don't change. You need to learn who they are and what they're about. Accept them for who they are. Accept what they're about. Or turn your attention to somebody that you have a bigger comfort level with. Okay, Spirit guide me, Spirit guide me. We're going to do a runes oracle here. Runes oracle, Spirit guide me, Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me, Spirit guide me. Just remember, we started off with going with the flow. Going with the flow. Once the oracle cards stick together, that one came out. Not it's destitution and having temperance. The rune of necessity, constraint, pain. It has two faces, distress and deliverance. It is the vital and protective fire. Wow. I don't think I could have picked a... I do not think I could have picked a better card. My goodness. Destitution and temperance. If something was just completely destroyed, you're going to need that temperance. The ruin of necessity means that it happened for a reason. There is a lesson involved with this. The vital and protective fire, I think, would be the way you look at it. Some of us pray. Some of us become people that we don't like. I think that the best thing about this is if it is destitution and you are resonating, how you handle it. And I do appreciate you coming to Timeless Energy. If you haven't subscribed, by all means, you're welcome. Please subscribe. It'll help my channel grow. Alright, if you haven't done it already, please like my content, unless I was really, really bad. I do appreciate your support. I really, truly do. There is a donation information in the description box. Okay, everybody knows that, because you know what? I really said that all the time when I first started. Okay, it doesn't work. Trust me, it doesn't work. What does work is, if this was any good, you'll come back and watch my next one. And if you liked this one, keep aware that there are other ones. These are timeless readings. You can go back and look at any of the timeless that I've done. I will be breaking this video up into short edits here and there, so little bits and pieces of what I just did will be floating out there in YouTube or maybe Instagram. I do appreciate your company with me tonight, and thank you very much. Do come back again.